Hello and welcome to another video from Athariel Gaming, and we're back here with another one of World of Tanks, and this time we're in the Manticore, the British tier 10 light tank. Now those of you who have watched my videos before or watched me on live stream will know that I am not the greatest light tank player in the world. In fact, I'm pretty terrible, and British light tanks, they can be the toughest of the bunch. However, sometimes you end up with the map that's like winning the lottery for a light tank, Prokhorovka. So I wanted to show some gameplay where even a mediocre player in a light tank can actually get something decent from Prokhorovka. Now, looking at the Manticore that I'm using, we do have Sixth Sense, we do have Brothers in Arms, and we're 84% done on our camouflage skill, but that is only essentially a 2.5 skill crew. We don't have the full camouflage skill, so it is not the best. We don't have any of the view range skills either. What are we using? We don't have the field mods, so in terms of our equipment, no bounty or bond equipment. That's pretty typical for my videos, my tanks. I am using a commander's vision system. I really love this module on light tanks. It really does help out, particularly spotting out other light tanks and anyone that's trying to push onto your location much earlier. And I've got that in the scouting slot for the extra bonus, as I think of all the modules I'm using, the commander's vision system gets the best bonus from it. Now, because I have such a poor skilled crew, I am currently using a static build. Now, this is not the optimal build, nor the build that I would choose should I have a little bit more in the way of crew skills. I'm currently using binoculars and a camo net. I need the binoculars to push the view range up, and they only work if you're stationary, so therefore if I'm stationary I might as well use the camo net as well and get the bonus from that. Now, normally I'd be looking to use a low noise exhaust system, and then either something like coated optics or vents in the final slot. Once we get some more crew skills, once we get the field mods, that's very much the build I'll be looking to use. But this is what we've got, and this is what we'll be playing in Prokhorovka. Now, the Manticore actually not a bad tank, and something that I'm still trying to get used to is actually it's not a bad gun. It's got 390 alpha damage, 248 mil penetration, and on the premium round that goes up to sort of around about the 255, 260 mark for the average penetration. So pretty good, and pretty good shell velocity. Now, the rate of fire and the gun loading time is quite long at 13 seconds. I definitely don't find this a tank that's very good at all of dueling other light tanks, and its turret traverse is pretty slow as well. But in terms of sniping, pretty good, and with that decent alpha damage too. The question that's always in my mind is, particularly without having the field mods and the crew skills for the camouflages, after I make the shot, am I suddenly going to reveal my tank? So I'm definitely playing less aggressively. I'm taking less shots with the gun for fear of revealing my position, as I tend to play quite far forward and then static. So I think that's the nature of the kind of gameplay I'm playing now. What I do want to do in the future, once you've got that low noise exhaust system, is potentially to be more mobile and taking more shots on the edge of a battle, being a combination of a scout and a sniper, which I think this tank can do quite well. But overall, we do have 511 meters view range, and we have 48% camo on a stationary vehicle, which is pretty nice. Top speed of 68, not bad for a light tank. I think the main problem I have with this build right now is EBRs. Other light tanks generally can't get close enough to me. I can get in position early enough, get set up, and they can't get close enough to me. But EBRs are a real problem because they don't set up shop anywhere. They just come flying around the battlefield, and you've either got to get lucky that your team are able to take them out, or they just drive over your position, reveal you, and then it's a case of can you survive the escape. So, you know, going in, facing backwards, planning your escape route is absolutely mandatory if you're going to be playing this tank stationary like that. But EBRs are the biggest counter to this right now, because they just drive all over the battlefield without being shot, and then eventually drive over your location and spot you. And there we go. So overall, it's a pretty good tank. We've got a pretty funky gingerbread camo scheme, which came from the Christmas event. pretty funky tank. Quite interestingly also that it only has 2 crew, so you do lose a crew member. That's quite important. You need to get that back up as soon as possible, but it does only have 2 crew compared to the previous tank, which had 3, which is, I think, also, I think that's quite an interesting thing for the tank. But yeah, not a bad tank, quite difficult to play, not a tank I'm going to duel other light tanks in, as I said. So let's go and have a look at that time when in a light tank, and in a light tank with this build, what happens when you win the lottery and you get Prokhorovka. Prokhorovka it is. We have won the lottery. It's a full tier 10 game. There are a few heavies, few mediums, few TDs, but in a light tank stream, not only do we have Prokhorovka, but we also have 2 artillery at tier 10. How unusual is that in this day and age of World of Tanks? Now, right away, we're moving over to the west hand side of the map, a great place for a light tank that is playing statically, that can make the best use of these bushes. And as you can see, pretty good maneuverability and acceleration, allowing us to get into position early. The key here is not pushing up too far. So to start off with, we're looking to see how far we can actually push up. And straight away we're getting a little bit of spotting damage on the 907 in the middle, but I actually really want to get to this location. I think this is a great starting location if you can get there, and fortunately there are no EBRs in this game. Fantastic. And already we have outspotted the enemy Manticore, a T100 LT, the SDRV, a VK and a 907, and we are already starting to rack up some of that spotting assistance damage. And this is what a light tank can do on Prokhorovka, and this is certainly what my Manticore, the static build, can do. As you saw, we were able to outspot that Manticore, and that was the commander's vision system doing its work in the bonus slot. Now, I am a little bit worried about the 907, thinking he might push. The one advantage I have in this particular location is that I actually am slightly below the ridgeline. So, I do have a little bit of hard cover between myself and him. Artillery going after the SDRV, but aren't able to connect. But there we are. We are 1.5 minutes into the game and already 2,000 spotting damage. And there's the SDRV again. He's staying in that same location. I'm waiting for somebody to absolutely annihilate him. And there we've spotted a TVP. TVP has come out, and you can see the value of this location. The binoculars giving me that view range along with the command vision system. Can our team kill the TVP before he comes charging at me? And it looks like he's been slowed. He's down to half HP and he's nearly dead. He's nearly dead. Can they finish him off? And it looks like, and we get some spotting on the chieftain as well as the TVP, because in this location we are also spotting across the ridgeline. So I was getting some assistance there on spotting on the Kranwagen and also the chieftain, which was great because of this location that we have. So there we go. We are 2.5 minutes into the game with 3,800 spotting damage. And here comes the STRV, who's he's had 1 shot against him. He's just kind of driving around. He's got like half his HP. I don't know quite what he's doing. He's upwards and down, and he's kind of weaving around, I guess, trying not to get shot. And that lucky STRV has just kind of lazily driven around all over the place. I'm guessing he was trying to get himself out-spotted, and he's going back to the location he was before, which means people are still going to be pre-aimed at that, and we were able to spot him all the way in, and artillery putting some shots in there as well. But lucky SDRV driving all around there and not being shot. But also, as you can see, that I have also not taken the shot, and that's, as I was saying before, I still have not played this tank enough with this build to gauge when I can make the shot without being revealed, and that's still something that I need to learn, is how far away I have to be to shoot and not be revealed in this tank. Coupled with that, I do have the Object 907, who is still over on my right hand side, not far away, who's fortunately just far enough away with the ridgeline to be out of the automatic spotting within the 50 meters. So again, the game has gone quite static. I do want to push up. This is the kind of time I'd be thinking, right, let's go, let's push up. The 907 bothers me. He is so close. As soon as I start moving, he may well get some spotting on me, a shot on me. He may be able to come over and take me out. And we already have lost our other Manticore. So I am the last light tank on our team. Now, the enemy still do have their light tank. Losing all your light tanks on Prokhorovka is a real problem, and if we'd had a second light tank who was in a good position, I would probably make more of a push, but I don't want to rob our team of that spotting too soon by getting myself killed in a push. And it would be nice as well if we were able to deal with that STRV, so he will spot me quite quickly. So soon we'll be looking to make the move, but it's just that's what it's going through my mind at the moment. And there's a T100 LT, so it'll be good if we can remove him. And again, for me, he's just too close for me to make the shot without being spotted. I'll let my team do the work and take the spotting assistance. That was 748 there, so we're up to 4,500 spotting assistance now. And for me, I think it's just a little bit unfortunate. We move a little bit further forward. The STRV does come back, though. It's a little bit unfortunate. I really don't think that Wargaming give enough credit to that spotting assistance. It's not that easy. Some people think it's just easy, drive into a bush and sit there, and that's kind of what I've done. But you have to get to that location. You have to have the right build, and so I do think that more credit should be awarded for spotting and assistance damage that is provided by light tanks. So the Bobject 704 there, and the enemy Bobject, how close he was, and we do believe that we can get the shot off, and we do make the shot onto that Object 704 there. And I do definitely believe that was the right thing to do. Kranvagen, a little bit of spotting assistance there. The Object pushing up really fast there, so he's gone. So now I'm going to go and support him. That was a pretty bold move by him, and he is getting absolutely ruined, but he does have the armor just to push up like that. So we're seeing if we can spot out any other tanks or maybe get a shot off on the VK. We just can't pen him there, and we're going to have to keep pushing up. My team are now pushing up as well. Some of the times the danger is in Prokhorovka here is you push up and the enemy is spotted so far back they're out of draw distance of your team, or they're behind this ridgeline of your team. So that is a problem. But we now have pushed up past the Bobject. We get the spotting on the VK, and we also spot the artillery. We drive past the VK, distracting him. We get, look at that, 974, and now we get a shot into the artillery, and let's make the most. And that artillery is dead. Here comes the Kranvagen. Kranvagen also gone as well. And we're now up to 6,800 combined, and I'm very, very happy with that so far. 6,000 spotting damage, and that is what this build is designed to do. Now we're coming over, seeing if we can get some spotting on the 907, who at the moment is spotted, but I'd like to see if I can get spotting on him and then also shoot him from the flank, and that's what we're going to look to do now. And just as we get to line up our shot, he is dead. But there we go, enemy artillery hidden behind the railway line. So we're now going to push up, we're going to reveal that enemy artillery, but I'm not going to go over because I'm spotted before I even make the ridge line. So I will get shot at as soon as I cross the ridge. So right now, the best thing I can do is sit there and just keep that Conqueror gun carriage spotted. And there's another 530 assistance damage. And there you go. There was the chieftain that was potentially waiting for me to cross over. So I now need to pick my moment. They know where I am. They know where I might cross, but they're also under their own pressure. And what I'm doing is I'm coming back so that I can get a good run up and enough speed, because I want to be over the top of there as quickly as possible. And there we are, we make it across. Unfortunately, we do crash into the wreck, but let's get around the wreck and let's see who we can spot. And there we go, we have a Leopard 1 who's moving down into the river valley, and there is also a Progetto. We're seeing if we can get a shot into there, and we can't. They have just moved behind that area. So that's no good. We need to move. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and push over and above them. So we're going to come around. We're going to cross over the water here. It's a bit of the steepest part of the hill. We should come a little bit to the left there. But as we come round, I want to see if I can get above them, keep them spotted, get above them, and shoot down onto that weaker top turret armor. And also being careful, of course, of a chieftain. But there's the Progetto. Let's come in behind him. And can we get a shot to the Progetto? Yes, we can, and we're able to kill the Progetto. Getting some more assistance damage there as well. And can we get a shot into the Leopard? Here he is. We're coming down the hill. Look at the reload time then. That is the problem with the reload time. It is long reload. And the Leopard gets killed. And we finished that game. We did 1,200 direct damage, 6,600 spotting assistance damage, and I am very, very happy with that game. Great game. I could have done more direct damage, but as I said, I'm still learning about when to shoot and when not to. let's jump back to the garage. And there we have it, the Manticore, when it wins the lottery. It doesn't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. We have Prokhorovka. It's a fantastic map for light tanks. It was almost designed for light tanks in mind in that regard. Plus, we had 2 artillery. There were no EBRs running around like crazy. So it just doesn't get any better than that. And you can see that even a mediocre player playing a very hard light tank with a poor skilled crew, basic equipment, no premium consumables, we were able to have what I think is a pretty good game. You know, if I got 7,500 combined in any other tank, I'd be loving it. That would be a fantastic game. But we managed 6,600 spotting damage. That's what this build is designed to do. That's also in line with the fact that the top of the tree bonus was just for spotting as well. But we did also get 1,200 direct damage. You can see the long reload time, but it is a nice alpha damage, and I am sure that I can improve with this vehicle once I've learned when I can shoot, when I can't, and also as my crew skills go up, to be able to switch out the static modules, which I really don't like. You know, I don't like this tank being static, but it's just the way I think it's playing best for me right now. But I do want to change it out for that low noise exhaust system, and then, as I said, maybe vents, maybe coated optics, depending on what I'm looking at, maybe a double build once I get the field mods. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down and let me know why, and I'll look to improve for the future. We stream live on Twitch, on Facebook Gaming and YouTube. And if you like the content, please like, subscribe and follow. It's free for you to do it, and it helps me out a great deal, and also gives me the confidence that our content is heading in the right direction. You've been watching Athariel Gaming, and I'll see you on the battlefield.